And that microphone is on. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you on board today. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad to have you here. And where shall I start today? Well, how about we start with saying welcome to the moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy, Lucas Snow, possibly Joseph Fields, and 24/7 Alive AZ Skies, Gary. And hopefully some of them are in the background. And then we'll get on to other things like, hey, first person in was Kevin Williams today, so Kevin gets the cookies, and that is awesome. Anyway, I see all kinds of people popping in now, which is really good, and I've been trying to keep the darn birds out of the water for the bunnies. I chased away the magpie twice, and now the blue jay's in there. I can't win. Oh boy. At least we don't have too many bunnies right now needing that water, so that's all right. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board. Volcano news-wise, we're not hitting that much new stuff, so let's get at with saying hi to everyone first off, and I'll start out with Chicky Gomberg. Welcome back. And let's see, who else we got? Banana Puss is here. Sasha is back in the house. Sue Hayes, welcome. Juliet is here. Hermione Schaefer and Fluffy are here. I tried to say Hermione and Fluffy all together. It didn't work. Two separate words, unfortunately. Paul Williams also here, as well as Henry Nelson. And Dinkle Storm Chaser, Dutch Weather, Barbara. And thank you for renewing, Barbara. I appreciate that. Did I say Kevin Haynes in here? Yeah, I hope so. Welcome, Kevin. That's the other Kevin. We got two of them in here, you know. Kevin seems to be a popular name. Arliss Scott is also in here, and that's a one of a kind. Grandma B is also here, and that's probably another one of a kind. Anyway, going up the list a little bit more. Tom Truelove made it back in. Good to see you. Did I say Arliss Scott? I think so. And going up some more, looking for other wonderful names. King, no, hang on. We won't call you a cannibal. King Colin Deadman is also here. Welcome. Glad to have you back on board. And Lizoid, welcome back. And going up some more, looking for other names. I think I got Juliet already. And Carl Fowler, welcome. Going up some more, looking for other wonderful people. Well, you're all wonderful people, but just looking for more names here in the list. Oz, welcome back. I'm glad to have you on board, Oz. And going up a little bit more, looking for others. And do we see other names? A lot of chatty people in here, which is really good. We do want that, so that is absolutely good to see. And Piggy is in the background watching, just so you guys know. She's lurking and still with us, doing a bit better, but still not. I'm sure she's still got a lot on her mind. So let's give her the time she needs, and of course our respects to Piggy. And anyway, going up some more here. I'm looking for other names. I don't see any. A lot of chatting going on. I see C&D Boy is here. Good. Lizoid we got, Sue we got, Oz we got, Tom we got. Holy mackerel, looking for more names. And there I put cookies out, and I'm at the top now. Don't see anybody else up there, so let's go back down to the bottom. And crayons for Piggy and Lurkers. Yeah, that is awesome. and all good. Linda, I made it. Welcome, Linda. Glad to have you back in here. And did we miss anyone else as we went over them? I'm just going to check the bottom end here. Storm Chaser 1211, welcome back. And Philomena, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. Okay, I think we've covered most of those wonderful names. If I did not happen to say your name, please, forgive me. I try to do my best with naming everyone that's in here, or at least saying hi to you guys. And sometimes I do miss names, and I do apologize if that happens. You can always speak up and say, hey, you didn't call my name, or something like that. Anyway, watching some more of that canned lava. That can was pretty big from the 14th there, so I just figured, hey, we're going to let that roll, and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, I'm going to pause that, though, and we'll get at the other stuff. There we go. Got it, just as it was erupting. And there we go. A spell check. Oh, you mean spell auto incorrect is what it is. Yep, there's my magic again. I like that, eh? The power. Anyway, let's get rid of the big banner, though. We don't need that guy. I clicked on it. Why? Oh, there. It took a little bit. Judy McClelland just got in here as well. Welcome, Judy. And anyway, let's go have a peek at what it looks like in Iceland. Today, of course, it's nighttime there, so we'll back up the time a little bit just to have a look and see what we've got going on. And we might as well get rid of that other banner here too. And of course, there's the city of Reykjavik, and we'll back that up about 5 hours or so and see what it was looking like then. And that was about 5 hours ago. Some clear skies, which is really nice. But we still see a lot of rain off in the distance, so we know they still had some clouds. Checking the other shots here, of course, that's the aluminum smelting plant right there. And if we back that up, you can, this is about almost 6 hours ago here. If it'll show kind of a silhouette looking thing. Anyway, K Lear up in the front here. You can see the top of Ragnar right in there, and of course the plant, and you see the water splashing down there. You know, the seas are a little bit rough, but not as bad as what we were seeing yesterday. So that's kind of what we've got on this one. I'm going to pop that back to live just so we know where we're at. And I did back this one up already from the darkness, and went back a little bit further. You can see, of course, the ice fields here, and that is Katla area. So that is the other volcano. We don't see anything pluming up here, so I don't think the volcano is erupting. But we definitely do see the ice fields, and they are there, and it's kind of a nice view. I like that. I wish I would have gone there while I was in Iceland, but it didn't happen. But anyway, that looks pretty awesome. And of course, the other one we're not able to see very much on this view right now. They did point it back at the capital city and Reykjavik, and you can see it off in the distance. And you can actually see some stars right now on that camera, which is kind of neat. I thought that was pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll leave that be, put it back on the city view here, and then that back to live so I know where I'm at. And let's have a look at our most favorite area for the harmonic tremor chart, of course, for our Frager del Fjall, and we'll see what it's doing. I want to get myself over onto that page. There we go. And Yep, we seen that decline, and then all of a sudden we had a funny looking increase and a big spike in here, and then it climbed some more, and I thought, hey, something's happening, and then I seen that the downward trend again, and disappointment. But hey, it is one of those things. We can't control Mother Nature. It does as it desires. Anyway, we'll take a look at the other charts real quick. We'll go up to the Grimsey chart and see how it looks. And where is it? Should be right around there. And it looks like it had a bunch of fairly large movement there, something going on. But I really don't know if that is going to indicate anything. I think that may just be movement of the plates. Don't know for sure. But if that were to spike up, I would think then we would see something erupting, a submarine-style volcano. But we're not seeing that, so that is kind of down there yet. In a way disappointing, in a way probably okay as well. Going and looking at the Grindavik one, we do see that same heavy increase in seismicity there, and it seems to be continuing, but not anywhere near as intense as what we had on the other end of the island. And just so you know, this is Grindavik is just about as far southwest as you can go, and then Grimsey, of course, is an island up in the northeast area of Iceland, and that is the distance between them is quite great. So I don't think they will make much difference from one to the other, really. There we go. We're back to where we belong, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of odd the way this is behaving, but we will just have to keep our fingers crossed. What aims not blur, just green. Oh, uh-oh. What? Had more rum and still green. Whoa. No, you don't want rum. That'll keep everything green. And pretty soon you'll see a triple of everything. You don't want to do that. Anyway, that is our harmonic tremor chart. Let's have a quick peek at the earthquakes. And let me get on that map or that screen. Anyway, we do see on this one, we did have a little bit of a bigger one at Grimsvatn. We'll take a look at that shortly. Of course, this map is not as intense as the other one, and just showing some of the quakes that are above 1.0. So we don't get the full gist of what is really going on. So we'll go over and look at the other one here. And in the last 24 hours, we were seeing a 71, according to the 71 quakes. Earlier I was looking, it was actually at about 80, but then it dropped by about 9, and that's all good. And we'll get to what it was doing here pretty quick, but let's take a look out at Grimsey first. Not that many quakes out in that area. There's the island of Grimsey. And of course, this is the area where we had the massive swarms of earthquakes. And right now we're only seeing a few in comparison. 1.6, 13 kilometers down. And this was from today at 22:59. Very fresh. This one was from 1706, 1.6, and that is only 1.1 kilometers down. Big difference between the two quakes. One is 13 and the other one is 1.1. And then we have this guy, and that is a magnitude 2.05. It was 16.957 kilometers down, just about 17 kilometers, 1:28 a.m. for that guy. So a big difference in depths. So I don't know what we can do with that. Hey, Leo Carlson is here. Welcome, Leo. Glad to have you on board. And let's take a look at some of these others a little further south. This one fairly new. 2028 was the time, magnitude 1.15 kilometers down. Then we have this one from 9 minutes after midnight, and a magnitude 1.495 kilometers down for that guy. And then we have this 0.76 that was there. Okay, 1026, 2.28 kilometers down, just about 2.3, and that is kind of out in the bay there, and we're not seeing too much other action. And you know, in comparison to what we were seeing before, where we had, you know, probably 1,000 quakes on the screen for a few days every day, this is just absolutely nothing, you know. This guy here, 0.8, 1.1 kilometers down from 1825. And then we go over to Astja, and Astja, of course, being an active volcano, but it hasn't done anything for a while. 0.7, 1.5 kilometers down from 2239. Sliding over and looking at Grimsvatn. Grimsvatn had 1.19, 5.7 kilometers down, 4:32 a.m. today. And sliding down a little bit more, looking at right beside Katla. And this was from 2046, a magnitude 0.3 and 1.6 kilometers down for that guy. And we'll take a look at these other ones. That is Hekla over here, so quite a distance between it. I don't think that's going to be any kind of an effect. 12:45 was the time on this one, magnitude 1.17, 8.9 kilometers down. Then we had a 1.33 at 2:40 in the morning, 5.2 kilometers down. And we'll carry on and take a look and get closer to our Reykjanes Peninsula here. This one is from 1:14 a.m., 0.87 and 6.3 kilometers down. Really nothing overly major there. And then we get into our wonderful Reykjanes Peninsula. There you can see the capital city of Reykjavik. If we zoom in a little bit, there's the Keflavik Airport, Keflavik, Reykjanesbær, Jarðvík, and we go down here, we can see Grindavik, and of course we can see the Blue Lagoon. There we go, Blue Lagoon and the power plant and a hotel there, and of course the highway going to Grindavik. Let's slide over here first, and we'll get all of these and just have a quick peek. This 0.1, not worried about it, 11.3 kilometers down from yesterday at 23:27. Then we have a 1.19, 5.8 kilometers down from 15:19. Going to the other side of the lake, a little closer to our area, this 0.44, 5.3 kilometers down, and that was 1:31 a.m. for him. 0.06, 1.14 kilometers down from 23:56 yesterday. And then we have this one, 3:58 a.m., 0.18, 3.3 kilometers down. We also have a 0.5 here, 1:45 a.m., 5.6, yeah, 5.6 kilometers down. There we go. Couldn't see it. Got stuff in the way. Anyway, this magnitude 1, 4.2 or just about 4.3 kilometers down, 4:07 a.m. for that guy. And then we start getting a little bit closer. Of course, this over here, Krusavik, and over here would be where Kalir is. And there we are. We talked about what we would see. This would be the top end of our Fagradalfjall area. just bumping up against Kalir, and that would still be part of our wonderful zone that we got to watch out for. Anyway, let's start over on this side. Yeah, 0.35, 7 kilometers down for that guy, 49 minutes after midnight. Then we have a 0 there, 2.3 kilometers down, and that is 11:47. This 1.19, 2.8 kilometers down from 10:12. We got a 1.22, 3.7 kilometers down, 9:39 a.m. And then we've got a bunch in here. We'll grab some samples just to see this guy, 0.92, 3.8 clicks down, 11:18. This 1.12, 3.3 kilometers down from 10:15. We'll grab this one. That one is 0.84, 3.4 kilometers down roughly. 10:43. This 1.9 or 0.9, I should say, 3.6 kilometers down. 10:20 a.m. for that guy. Then some smaller ones, 3.2 kilometers down for the 0.31, 9:45. We have from 9:01 a.m. this 0.49, 3:24. 3.28 kilometers down. I'm reading the wrong things here. This one, 9:46 a.m., 0.15, very small, 3.79 kilometers down for him. So really nothing major looking there. Let's take a look at these ones, see if they're a little more shallow. 3.38 kilometers down for the 0.42 from 8:50 a.m. There we're getting more shallow. 2.4 kilometers down, just about 2.5 from 0.47 from 14:16. And we're getting a lot closer. And there's our Siggy Fisher, and there's the other ones. Ragnar would be sitting right around in here. They call the whole area Fagradalfjall. So we'll take a look at this guy here, 5.1 kilometers down for this 0.69 magnitude, and it is 5:11 a.m. We'll grab this one, 0.26, 5.4 kilometers down from 6:24. Then we have this guy, 0.87, 6.6 kilometers down from 7-Eleven. And no, you can't buy that at the 7-Eleven store, sorry. 0.41, 6.7 kilometers down from 3:54 a.m. And that kind of covers the stuff that's to the northwest. We see more here to the south, I guess southwest and west of our Fagradalfjall. 0.75, 6.1 kilometers down, 50 minutes after midnight. Then we have this 3.16, and that is 0.71 in magnitude, 4.2 kilometers down. Looking at this guy here, 0.85, 7.6 kilometers down from 1:19 a.m. And then we have another one that is 0.6, 5.2 kilometers down, 3:36 a.m. And the list goes on. I'm not going to go through all of them here. They're kind of just the same thing, very small. That one, though, 0.23, that's only 1.1 kilometers down. That's fairly shallow. And that was from 3:08. Then we've got these other ones here, just checking them. This one, just about 3 kilometers down, 0.33. Not that bad. This one is, again, getting a little bit deeper, so we'll leave those be. Take a look at this guy, 4.6 kilometers down for the 0.42 from 1:20 a.m. Sliding over and having a look, and we don't see anything else. Nothing right underneath Grindavik, nothing right underneath the Blue Lagoon and or the power plant, so that is good. But we do see some swarming here out a little bit further, and it's always interesting to see that, and makes you wonder what the heck is going on underneath there. Anyway, 0.46, 5.8 kilometers down from 1607. I'm just going to pick a few of these out here. 1.15, 3 kilometers down, 5:22 a.m. Let's grab this one here, 3.111 kilometers down, and 106 is the magnitude, 7:33 a.m. for him. And let's see, one more here. We'll grab this one. 2.9 kilometers down for this magnitude 0.77 from 7:33 a.m. Gives you a little bit of an idea. We don't see anything major coming up there. We've got a couple more stragglers down here. Again, really just checking the depth. They're very, very small quakes, so I don't think they're going to have any impact. What is it? 23:57 was the time on for this yesterday. 0.365 kilometers down for that guy. Then this guy here was from 1:16 a.m. 0.28 magnitude, 4.5 kilometers down for him. Sliding out a little bit, just double checking to see if there's anything else further out. We do not see anything else. We do have these other volcanoes listed here though, and it's interesting that they put them out there. LD is there, but I don't know which one is this one. Reykjans. Right at the end of the peninsula. And that's about what we see there in Iceland. Now, I did check to see if we had any more stuff happening further down the Reykjans Ridge, and all is quiet, or at least when I checked, which was probably about a half an hour ago. I didn't see anything on either one of the maps, and kind of going, okay, well, things got quiet there, so that is all right. Anyway, that is our Icelandic report for today, and we'll pop over real quick and have a look at what it looks like right now in Sicily. And I just clicked on the wrong screen. Try that one. It's darkness with lights, and they all have that right now. From over on that side of the pond anyway, which is all right. Anyway, 1:23 a.m. There in Sicily. That's what we're seeing. Let's back up a little bit. Gives you a pretty good idea of what the day was like. And they did have very cloudy conditions for the most part during the day. I was able to make a small time lapse, and this is it right here, so we're letting that run. I know that didn't look much different than the other one, but it is a lot faster moving, so that should give you a little bit of insight into what the weather was there today. And that's showing just about 1800 or 6 p.m. their time. As we go through it, we see those clouds dissipating a little bit from not having that heat on them anymore, and they just kind of evaporate. So what? Fish net? Who's got the fish net? Are you trying to catch one fish? No new island. No, not yet. We gotta wait for that. It'll come. Just give it time. Maybe another year or two. Anyway, as you see, not a heck of a lot going on at Etna. It is continuing to smoke though, and still doing its thing that way. So I'm sure we are seeing some SO2 output and things like that, but really not seeing anything that is going to scare us and make us think that this thing is going to erupt again. At least not for the interim. So we'll see. And I'm sure Etna will erupt again in just a matter of time. So that's all right. I do like fish. I like fish burgers. Don't tell one fish that. Hey, I see a bunny. Oh, that's on the other stream. Oh, lots of fun with bunnies on the run. And that's all good. So I'm glad we have a bunny there eating. And we had the squirrel eating too. He keeps coming and getting all the nuts. Oh, can't help it. Yeah. Anyway, and that is Sicily for today. And I think the next ones we'll have a look at, of course, will be not there. Oh, yeah. Actually, we will go there. We'll go to the Azores. The thing is, in the Azores, there's really not that much happening either. We did have, a few quakes, nothing really major. So let's have a look there. And of course, you can see the lights of Pico Island today. Means it's a little bit clearer there, which is really nice. Probably not as rainy and stuff. Of course, we are on the island of São Jorge, and you can see the small village there, one of the harbors in the foreground. For those who aren't familiar with this picture, we do have some other pictures here. That's what it looks like during the day, and of course you can see Pico Island on the other side of that strait, and the big mountain there, Mount Montana, or if you want to call it what they used to call it, a Pico Mountain or Pico Volcano. Anyway, that is what we've got there. Thanks for the 3-minute warning. I got it. And let's turn that picture off. We will go over to the other cove, if you want to call it that, kind of a little bay here. And what we're looking for is to see how much white water we've got down on the bottom. It tells us how rough that water is, and we do still see quite a bit of white water splashing up. So I'm thinking, hey, it might not be that safe for little boats, and make sure you take your big boat out then, and that is all good. So hey Piggy, good to see you, and glad that you're on board. Yep. Anyway, let's hit this real quick. I'm going to make that picture a little bit wider, and there we go. And anyway, looking really quickly here, I see they got another one, but 1.5. This is, of course, the earthquakes on São Jorge, and that is from 1:48 a.m. 1.5, and then we've got another 1.5 from 4 a.m. Another 1.5 out in the water from 9:50, and then we have one more there from 10:30, another 1.5. So I guess that sums it up. The average today is 1.5 for the ones right around São Jorge. And we'll take a look at the other map. That I got to refresh that one though, and that will give us a few more of the quakes in the other areas as well. Going to make that map a little bit bigger. There we go. And of course, we look around. First off, we don't see anything down on the bottom here, so we're all good. And for those guys that need to know, that is São Jorge, Pico Island, Fayal Island, that kind of thing. We do see these ones out here, 2.0 from 10 hours ago over there. And then this one, the 1.5 reported 14 hours ago. We looked at that already. And we see this 2.2 from 6 hours ago out there. So that is pretty awesome to see the differences. And they are reporting those other three 1.5s there 19 hours ago, 13 hours ago, and 22 hours ago for those. So that is what we're seeing in our wonderful Azores today. And of course, they're showing that only the one quake, the 2.0, was 4 kilometers down. The other ones were all at the surface. And that gives you a pretty good idea of what is going on. My scoop owl, the owl was back this evening. Aw, that's nice, Piggy. The owl is nice to see. And we like owls. They're a hoot. Really, the owls are a hoot. Okay, enough of the funnies. It's time for my break, you guys. Anyway, if you're enjoying the wonderful show so far, by all means, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're new and you haven't yet subscribed and you feel that we've earned it, by all means hit that subscribe button, and that would be awesome. And on that friendly note, I am your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll carry on with looking at other volcanoes such as Popocatepetl and some Central American ones. Hopefully, Fuego is back online. It was off earlier, so hopefully, keeping fingers crossed, and then we'll move on from there. So don't go away, you guys. I'll be back. Thanks. And that microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. Okay, I'm just reading something really quickly here. Okay, yep. All right, got that. Just a quick update. So thank you, everyone, for the welcome backs from Leo and Piggy. Yeah, thanks, Piggy. And Kevin Haynes. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And thanks, Sue Hayes, and everybody else. And good night, Dinkle Storm Chaser. Good night, Barbara. Hopefully you'll have a good sleep and pleasant dreams. Have lavely dreams, okay? Lavely dreams. Anyway, that's good for now. Let's see if we can pop over to some of the other places here. And I know... Oh, there we go. I used my magic. Stop that darn volcano right in its tracks. Gotta love it. Anyway, did say I was going to pop over to Popocatepetl. And I really didn't check on it much today. And it was in the clouds for the most part, you guys. The early morning stuff that we normally do. What? I passed it? No, I didn't pass it. Okay. How about right there? That's it. That's Popocatepetl. No snow on it today, which is really good. And that means the higher elevation... oh, I paused it. I got it. I paused it. Okay. Paused it. Okay, got it, Piggy. I get it. Paused it. I used my paws. Definitely. Bunny paw. Hey, Diane Craig. Wow. Thank you for that wonderful super chat. And I hope you got that a link I sent there the other day. May the power of nature forever move us with its wonders. Wow. That's awesome, Diane Craig. Gonna write that down. Diane Craig. And thank you very kindly for that wonderful super chat. Diane Craig. There we go. Got it written down. And perfect. There we go. All right. Thank you kindly, Diane. Appreciate that. Anyway, that is what we were seeing from Popocatepetl, and of course that was from 1645 their time, which is about, I guess, be about an hour ago, really, and it really wasn't doing a heck of a lot, and sitting there. Actually, it went back into the clouds about, about 45 minutes later, about an hour later. Anyway, that is kind of what we were seeing. Not a heck of a lot. We did get all the clouds out of the way for a little while, but you can see it off-gassing or continuing to off-gas as it possibly is going to throw some more stuff out in the future, but I'm not sure what's going on here, if we got some cloud just hanging on or if there's some snow still stuck on the top layers here. But that could be a possibility too. That could be a melting snow up on the top that may have had some ash over it, and it's still working its way on the melt point. But as you can see, no other snow noticeable on the volcano right now. And of course, having seen that, this is the standard volcano gray that we normally see. And this is the other angle, of course, trying to find a spot where it's actually not in the clouds from the other side is pretty tough. But there it is. And again, very little snow or no snow visible right now. So that is kind of where it's at. So we got Leo here, we got Henry Nelson, and we got Trevor. Wonky, a donkey. Welcome, Trevor. Glad to have you on board. Just got called into work. Good night/day. Take care. All right, Leo. Be good, and all the best to you. And we'll take care of your barbecue for you. Okay. It's a fine day for doing that. Hermione says, hubby found my chocolate with nuts. Oh no, Hermione, tell him that's bad for your heart. I don't know. It's good for your eyes and bad for your heart. Sure, the snuffled cookies I found from Dr. Fox's desk. Piggy, I was saving those. Oh my God, my cookies. Oh, oh, you didn't get the link? Well, what the heck? I sent it. I'll have to double check and see what's going on. But I did send it. I did reply, Diane, and I had trouble trying to get the link in there, but my software finally let me do it. Dr. Fox was saving you from the cookies. Oh, you were saving me from the cookie. What? It's like I'm. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, my cookies. Anyway, don't have a Fuego to look at. They're like that right now. I could refresh just to double check, but nope, still no Fuego. Looking at the other ones, we do see an updated picture here of Mombo Tombo and Momo Tombo. A little bit of stuff coming off the top of this thing. This looks like a kid's science project where we put the dry ice in the top there and just let it bubble out. That's kind of what it looks like. But that is their picture for today of that one. The other ones, and of course, that is a Messiah, has not been updated. It is still stuck on the 29th of September. And of course, the other one here is September 10th, and that is Messiah's caldera. Both of the shots here are from Nicaragua, of course, and that is kind of what we see there. And a little disappointing, but it is what it is. Popping over and having a look at Merapi, and Merapi is not making us happy. 6:44 a.m. there in the Indonesia, and really not seeing any very good visibility as far as what I can see. Backing up a little bit, going about 2.5 hours back. We do see some smoke coming off of the top of the caldera. Looking at that, they did have a little bit of a seismic increase right here. But I don't know, it went flatline again over in the other area. And of course, we get a lot of volcano gray going through there every once in a while. About 5 hours ago, though, it was visible, but not very visible. Oh, it was buffering. Oh, for them on the other screen. Prior to that, we had that wonderful color called a volcano gray. And it kept on doing that, going in and out of the clouds. This is a little bit earlier from 2204 their time, and there you can see a little bit of that activity, it off-gassing up in the top, but we're not seeing it produce any lava right now. It looks like maybe a little red spot right there, but that is minor in comparison to what we should be seeing. I want to see like big flows of lava coming down the hill, right? Isn't that what we like, bacon? But we're not seeing that. So that's kind of what we've got in there. Thank you, Linda, for renewing your membership. I'm so happy you're still here to entertain and inform. And thank you, Linda. And I do appreciate that. And I try. I've been noticing things are going down, though, as far as subscribers and stuff like that is, and it's I can understand that we don't have a super active volcano anywhere showing anything really nice. So that's kind of what it is. Anyway, we popped over to Ruapehu, and we know that they got a lot of snow yesterday. So the skiing people might be happy about that. But anyway, they're zoomed in. I don't see anyone shushing down the hill there, and that is pretty awesome. Thor throws in for cookies or whatever you like. Thank you for throwing that super chat in there. I gotta write that down. Thor, Moose, and okay, there we go. Anyway, that is Ruapehu. Let me see if we can increase the quality here. For some reason, YouTube likes to cut it back, and that's 14.4 form. So that's a little bit better. Thank you, Thor. I really do appreciate that little super chat there. That's awesome. And there we go. Got it written down. Thank you. Anyway, Ruapehu, you see the snow line. This has gone way down, like when it was up here before. We really noticed the big difference. So it has snowed quite a bit. We aren't seeing any more snow on the field surfaces or the roofs or the trees out front here. So it was actually pretty awesome, and they are zooming back into it, and that is nice. Good to be able to see it, and with a little bit of fresh snow, always pretty nice. Anyway, let's carry on, and Ruapehu, of course, that is compliments of our Mount Ruapehu channel, where they are broadcasting live 24/7. So really, really good. And they do zoom in, and like I say, it really isn't anything wonderful to look at, all that cold snow. But you can see some of the areas here actually have quite a bit of snow on it, looking at the hills and stuff. But there's also still a lot of rock exposed. So I don't think you'd be wanting to ski in those conditions. You need groomed slopes. Anyway, let's carry on to our next one. Yeah, it's Burr. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about cold. There we have several different volcanoes on the screen, and I need to get onto that screen to be able to actually see it, since it shows up so small on my other one. And okay, so we got Krakatoa up there, and which one do we have here? I can't read that name up top, but anyway, that is the caldera of one of them. But these two shots here are Krakatoa, and as you can see, it is smoking or off-gassing. Let's bring that a little bit bigger. There we go. And you can see the off-gassing kind of pluming over in the other direction. And this, of course, is the crater right here, and it goes from roughly about here to here as far as that caldera is concerned. And we see the wind is blowing it in the opposite direction, so we're not getting it flowing towards the camera, which is actually pretty darn good. And that's kind of it. And we do see some spikes in the activity, but not anything like what we were seeing yesterday. So it has calmed down a bunch, and that is all right. The other volcanoes they were showing on there was Semeru, and I don't know if Semeru is working, so let me get rid of that. There we go. That's your Semeru shot. If we do that way, there you get it all in one. And I want to make sure that's cranked up. Yeah, that one only comes in 480, a lower flavor. But if we go back a little bit, we did see a little bit of a glow up top, and there you can see it doing its thing, glowing, and not bad. and of course lots of stars up in the sky there, and of course the clouds coming in, and that was in the early morning hours, 4:18 according to that. And if we go back a little bit earlier, just before the clouds moved in, that would be about here, or actually well, they left is what I should have said rather than moved in. Earlier it was very cloudy. You do see again a little bit from that view. The other view here shows a little bit better. 2:45 a.m. their time, and if we go back a little bit more in time, there you see what I was referring to, volcano gray again, and that is kind of what we had at 23:20, and going all the way back to right around here, which is what is that? That is from 1924, and there was still erupting fairly well and not being hidden in the clouds. You can see kind of a little bit more of the lava up in the caldera, which is pretty awesome, you guys. So that is it for that one, and we will put that back to live so we can see what it looks like right now. It is, of course, just about 7 a.m. there, 6:52 in the morning, and we are starting to see some cloud cover building up on the top of the volcano, so making it a little bit on the rough side. And let's leave that one there. Let's go over to Japan real quick, and we will have a look at Sakurajima. And it doesn't really look all that great right now. Sakurajima, let me go there. Okay. Is that live? There, that's live. And that is what we're seeing. 8:54 a.m. there at Sakurajima. And seems to me that they've got a lot of haze and fog and stuff, and that off-gassing is coming almost straight towards the camera. If we go back about an hour and 20 minutes or so, and that changes it, you can see it is pluming, throwing out a bunch of gas out of the caldera, but I don't think we seen any major eruptive activity from it. You know, so it's basically quiet. There you can see a little bit more. It looks like that it's raining from the clouds right there, which is kind of weird. And I'm wondering if it's because it's heated up a little bit, and that temperature change may have affected it a little bit. Did we ever find out why no boats in the bay last week? That was because of the storm, Mona, because of the super typhoon going through. They actually moved them in around the back side of the mountain. So if you look here, this area here, if you go out to that direction, you'll go out to the ocean. If you go back in around the back side of this outcropping here, that's into the bay. And of course, that over there, actually it's easier to show on this one. So those boats are sitting over here in this area, and if you go out that way, you're going out to the ocean. If you go in this way, you're going into that bay area, and they parked them around the back side of that volcano, and that would be a lot safer for them. So thank you for the 4-minute warning, Piggy, and that is awesome. It's 2:56 a.m. there, so yeah, you should be able to see the clock on this one right now, showing 8:56, and the ice cream boat just left. Darn it. It happens, you guys. It happens. Bird is the word. Okay, don't get me going. I'm going to have that in my head all night long. Anyway, that is what we had there. If we go back a bunch of hours, you know, looking at during the nighttime, and we didn't see much more. We do see it pluming, of course, but it is not really throwing any major ejecta out with no lava. And I check back and scan for lava all the time, and didn't see any. That was just after midnight. That was kind of a shot where it was still clear out, which is really nice, and you can see a nice plume coming off of there. And we go back even a little bit further. That was a darker gray material, and that was about 15 minutes before their midnight time. And a little further back, there we go. Kind of the same thing again. You see that it just keeps on going. And let's see how far we can go. That was actually from just about 10 p.m. Their time last night. So the big light up on the top here, I don't know if that's the moon or the city, but that's what we've got. Anyway, that's kind of what it is at Sakurajima right now. I'm going to put this one back on live so we see what it looks like. And there we go. Popping over to the other ones really quickly. This, of course, is the close-up cam or the crater cam for Sakurajima. And because the clouds are heading right towards us, we don't get to see a heck of a lot. The next one, of course, is ASO, and ASO is in the clouds. We are not seeing anything at ASO, and unfortunately, it just happens that way. Even if we go back about 3 or 4 hours in the wee hours, this is about 2 hours, 30 minutes ago, nothing, no view. So that was kind of what we've seen there. And similar situation out at Suwanosi-jima. So they had some bad weather in the way, and not a heck of a lot that you can do about that. Mother Nature will do what Mother Nature does best. And there's kind of a shot from during the night, 5:35 a.m. But if we go back a little bit further, very hard to tell if there was anything happening. There we go at 2:14 a.m. and you can definitely see a plume heading off in the other direction. And prior to that, it was again back into the very hazy, cloudy material, and hard to see anything there, but you can see it is pluming a little bit, not a heck of a lot. And let's see if, actually I want to see, back this one up just a little bit. I want to see if there was something splashing out on it as we back it up. In the back, oh, it's hard to stick all that stuff back in a volcano. Oh, gotta use my magic. All right. And, okay, and that's about all there is. And let's see, will it erupt? No. Oh, hang on, we did see some lava there. Somewhere along the way we did see lava. Okay, makes me wonder where we actually seen it. There was a little bit right in here, but not, there it is. We'll go back and let it play through again. I don't know if that's static or maybe that was a little bit of volcanic lightning in there. That is probably a better explanation. Anyway, you guys, yeah, I think I'm going to go take that break, and it is time, of course. And we will put this one back on live, put it back over so we can see the next ice cream boat coming in. And what we'll do is put you back on a lava flow, though, right there. I'm going to go take that break. So for all those good people who are enjoying the show, by all means, hit that like button, help us out. Target is 100, of course. And also, if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. We wouldn't mind if you did that, and of course that is only if you feel we've earned it. And on that friendly note, we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so with bacon seeds. So that'll be awesome, and we have another pile of good bacon seeds. And we thank Piggy for those wonderful bacon seeds. All right, I'm your host, Dr. Fox 2000. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or there, roughly thereabouts. Thanks. go. Microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. I have no idea what the heck is going on. My computer is glitching and stopping and starting, and I think I need to reboot again. Oh, wow. And I see my other stream is going up and down. Bit rates on that machine are going wacko. I hope it's not buffering for you guys. I don't want Chinese torture either. I don't like that. Thank you for the welcome backs from all you good people like Trevor and Sue and Kevin Haynes. And I don't want Chinese torture. And Sue, mine too, Doc. Makes you wonder what the heck is going on. Thank you, Hermione, as well. Stream is good from Henry. All right, cool. And let's see if we can keep going and do our thing. Bacon seeds. Hang on, I gotta stop this lava. Gonna stop the lava if my machine will allow me. And we'll see if we can freeze it. Freeze the lava. Pause. Oh, that's not the right file. What the heck is it on? Okay, yep, I did pause it. Okay. Things are not keeping up with me. Thank you, Sharon Stewart. You hear me. All good. Okay, so there we go. That was the last yesterday. And, of course, that is in the pumpkin patch. And that is pretty awesome to see. And let's get on to our first one of today, and that would be this one. And somebody is playing the piano. That is my pianist for that wonderful song. And looking pretty good there. A musical piggy. Gotta love it. Audio intermittent and buffering again. Oh boy. Well, I'm looking at the bit rates coming out. It's doing fairly good here. So, pianist in a 2-2. Yep, I guess that's better than a pianist in a 3-3. Oh, next one. Si, senor. This one is from Spain or Mexico or someplace. And nice colors. We like that. Actually, that looks like a Spanish hat. So, si, senor, al piggy. Gotta love it, you guys. Stream the length of time for anyone to notice the change. Okay. All right. No, that is. Yeah, when you type in the word stream, you get how long the other stream has been running. Okay, and that is 4 years, 3 months, 20 days, 5 hours, 12 minutes, and 26 seconds plus a few. Anyway, let's see. Who else popped in here? Clark Hall, welcome back. I'm glad to have you on board. And anyway, we're going through our bacon seeds. So there's the one from Mexico, and arr, we got a pirate pig. Arr. I think some of these might be Halloween costumes. What do you think? And that is pretty good. Hey, One Fish 26. A good thing that you came here now or not earlier. You would have been pan fried, I think. But watch out for that pirate. He's out on his boat. And he'll get you. Arr. And let's see what our next one is. What's it say here? Knock me down with a feather duster. Gotta like it. That is wonderful and pretty awesome to see that. Sorry, I have some some have been repeated. My fault. It wasn't on it fully. No worries, Piggy. These are all beautiful, and we don't mind looking at them. Even a second or a third time here and there is not a big deal. Anyway, I do like the feather duster one. That looks pretty good. This definitely looks new though, and this one, of course, probably smiling and kind of snoozing a little bit with his buddy, and looks like there could be a third one in the background there as well. They look like they're having a wonderful time doing whatever they're doing. And let's get to the last bacon seed for today, and the last one would be this wonderful fella. He's out for a walk, and he's got racing stripes and all kinds of different things, and going for a little bit of a walk, and that is a nice chipmunk piggies. Yeah, yep, I could be. Anyway, that looks not so bad, and that is actually pretty nice. Thank you, Piggy, for those wonderful bacon seeds as usual, and you do a fantastic job, and I really do appreciate what you do there for all of us. So thank you kindly, Piggy, and they are awesome. Okay, moving on. Somebody said they wanted an ice cream. Unfortunately, the ice cream boat is still not back yet. And there we have a shot looking at it, and we don't see it, unfortunately. And that is kind of depressing in a way, but it is what it is, and we can't fix that. Let's go have a look at Tallo. And Tallo has continued to off-gas. Just curious, how do you know it was what ice cream on it? Oh, we have special people over there checking that, and there's the two boats there that have ice cream, one fish, and they have some really good stuff too. Seriously, they have like volcano lava stuff and all kinds of different flavors. It's all good. It's not fish food, so you wouldn't be interested in it anyway. But anyway, Tallo, that is kind of what we're seeing out of Tallo's crater right now. And it is actually, off-gassing, but not that much. If we go back a little bit earlier when they restarted the stream here, that's about 2 hours ago. We don't have too much more there. It was kind of the same thing. You see those clouds coming up, and of course we know there's a lake inside that caldera. So a lake inside the volcano, which is inside of another caldera, which is a lake. And that is pretty cool. And that's what we've got. Well, this fish likes ice. Okay, cool. Anyway, that is what we've got going on there, and really not too much. Thank you for the pictures of the pigs. Clark, you're welcome. We like doing that. And of course, Piggy is the one that sends them in, and she does a wonderful job with it. And it's, we're getting up there in numbers. I'm actually not even sure what we're at here now. I've been writing 1,737 is the amount that we're showing so far. So that is a lot of different bacon seed pictures. Even if you have 100 duplicates, we're still well over 1,500 different bacon seed pictures, and that's a tremendous amount of pictures. And Piggy has sent majority of those, so that is very awesome, and I really do appreciate that. Oops, LOL, yeah. Piggy, with that many, I can understand that there's going to be some repeats, and that is a tremendous amount. If you're 1,600 original pictures in there, and that's a lot of pictures. It really is. So pretty awesome. Anyway, Tallo volcano, that is what it looks like right now live. And we do see it off-gassing. Like I say, there's a lake inside that caldera, and that's kind of where we're at. The volcano height, maximum height, is over here, and that is 1,020. What is it? 1,033 feet, or 32 feet tall. So, just so you kind of get the idea, it does look fairly small when we're looking at it from this angle, but that is just over 1,000 feet tall from the lake level. So, pretty awesome. And anyway, that's kind of what it's doing, and we like it. Let's carry on, go to our next one, and of course that is popping over to our wonderful Yellowstone National Park. Let me see if we can get that on there. A little bit blurry. I don't know what they're looking at right now. Oh, the mud pits. They're looking at the bubbling mud pits right there in Yellowstone. And you don't want to walk in there. You step on that stuff, you'd be gone. Hot mud pits. But they do have all kinds of different geysers there. There are over 500 different geysers, active geysers in Yellowstone National Park. There they go. They switched pictures on us. Now they're zooming in on a different area. And that is what we've got going on there. And let's leave them be. We don't see any Sasquatches or no buffalo or anything like that today. Did see some people earlier when I was watching Old Faithful deliver its good mud pit smell. Yeah, these actually over there they smell like sulfur, and that's kind of not good. He is both. What? Trevor? What? Okay, that is one fish. How am I supposed to read that? I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. All right. Way to go, one fish, and thanks for renewing that. But I was trying to see what Trevor's name was. Trevor, bird is the word. Bird is the word. All right, we got it. That is too many birds, or not enough birds, one of the two. Anyway, way to go. All right, so let's, where am I going? Let's go to Hawaii. It'll only take a couple hours to fly there from here. And going from Yellowstone over to Hawaii, the big island of Hawaii, and that is what we're seeing inside the caldera of Kilauea. And that is kind of a neat shot from 2:06 a.m. their time. Arizona Snowman just brought up the link for Yellowstone as well as Hawaii. If you go to the Hawaiian map there, you can see these cameras are available on that map, so you can actually go there and have a look for yourself. Anyway, this picture, because it is so smoky and everything, you can't really see too much, but down on this end is where the lava comes in. The lava tube is just underneath there. It does have a little vent that we can't really view right now because of that, but you can see that flow came in this way, and of course once it gets crusted over a little bit, it'll change directions and recreate the pattern, if you will. We do see some lighter areas, like right in here and along the sides here and here, and possibly over here. And what's causing that is, of course, gas bubbles bubbling up as the lava is draining out of the lava pond. So it comes in here and it goes out these areas and the holes that are in there. And this one, of course, would be going into our toe area, which we can't see right now. So I'm going to refresh it. And that is what it looks like right now. And this is a current picture from 1416 their time. and it does look like that crack is bigger and this crack is bigger. Anyway, you can see that flow. You still can't see the little vent over here, but the smoke from it is doing its thing, and the lava flow would be coming in here right now. We do see this bright spot, so somewhere underneath there's a drain hole, and that is where our lava is leaving. We don't see anything over on this side right now, and it looks actually like it's pretty solidified, and also looks like our toe area is lower in level. It may have shut off the tap from this side over, and we're not getting any more lava in there. And that can happen, and it could stay like that for a while, and all of a sudden we'll have it refill once the level increases in the lava pond again. And looking at it, it looks like we had definite drop in lava level, probably another 1.5 meters or so. So looking at it, that may be why these cracks appear to be bigger as everything sags down, and we've got less lava in there. Hey, Kananaskis country is in. Welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. Anyway, going to the next picture from 2:06 a.m. Hawaii time. Primary vent right there. There's the little hornito with the lava tube in it, and we can't see a heck of a lot there. Nothing else visible. So let's refresh that one. That is what it looks like right now. And is that lava flowing on this side? I can't tell. It almost looks like it. That's interesting because the primary vent is that whole thing. A little hornito would be over here, and of course the lava tube flowing in. The other things that we notice is in here we've got some steam coming up on the sides, and as mentioned before, it's possible that this piece will fall in eventually into the caldera and break off and possibly open up another vent area. We'll see what happens in the future. There's a couple of others. This one on the back we've been kind of keeping an eye on as well. So that is what this one is looking like. Let's go to our opposite side of the caldera, and nighttime shot 2:06 for this one as well. Actually, this one is 2:01, but close. Anyway, primary vent over here, little hornito or lava tube right there. Hey, Grandma B throws in one gift membership. Thank you, Grandma B. Grandma B. And there, spelled it right, and gifted one a membership. And Robert Furry got it right off the bat. Way to go. And that's awesome, Robert. You're a lucky guy. Anyway, there. So lava pond definitely visible. We can see just the edge of the toe area right in there. Not much. And then a couple of other spots. That is all we've got. Let's refresh it, look at it from daylight, and of course that is from 14:01. And again, a primary vent over here, and this is another smoker. We're not seeing the hornito there. It's hiding. But the visibility on this, we have that smoke coming up in front right here. You can kind of see it. And that is where that other spot is down on the side of the caldera wall that I was saying could possibly drop in, which is awesome. Okay, going to the thermal. That is the thermal from 1:58 a.m. And you can see the levels here in the pond. You can see the hornito with the lava in it. Primary vent right there, a toe area there. Toe area looking very cool, and low level of lava. And let's refresh that, take a look at the current image, and there it is. There's our current image. We see hotter lava in there again, so it may be refilling now. We'll see what happens. But we know that level was much, much lower than before, and that is something to kind of wonder about what the heck is happening if we all of a sudden get lower levels. And we've had a lot of quakes in that area. Actually, more quakes up on Mauna Loa than we have had down here in the Kilauea area. So maybe Mauna Loa is going to take over in the future. We'll see what happens. And let's pop over, and I'm just looking at the time. We are going to go take a look at the earthquakes for there. But what we'll do is we'll wait for after the break. There's our Hawaiian Islands, of course, and we're going to have a look at what kind of earthquake activity we've had on the Big Island. I don't see anything else on the other ones, so that is what we're going to do. And stick around, you guys. Don't go away. We'll get more stuff happening, and I hear my voice is cracking. I gotta take that break. And on that friendly note, be good, everyone. Smile, take care of yourselves, and don't go anywhere yet. And we'll gonna take a 5-minute break or so, maybe a 6, and we'll put you back on some lava here. And hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're new, and please consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where we have clear skies, and hopefully I'll be able to get back in time here in a few minutes. Don't go away. I'll be back. back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. And thank you, Sue and Onefish and Kevin Haynes and Hermione for the welcome backs. I appreciate that, you guys, and I'm glad that you guys are all still on board. Hey, while I was on break, I had one of those telephone solicitors phoning, telling me they're from Microsoft computer department, and they're calling in regards to my computer. And I said, whoa, hang on. I said, is your computer running? And the girl replied, yeah. I said, well, you better run after it, otherwise you'll never get it back. And I hung up. Anyway, Sharon Stewart says, I can hear you. Really? All right, that is awesome. And thanks, Kananaskis Country. I see that you made it back safe and sound. I'm assuming you're back in Swift Current. So, yeah. So, anyway, good stuff with the computers there. I hope that that girl is figuring out what just happened. And hope she catches her computer if it's running. That's one of those things. I should have asked her if her fridge was running, but those are heavier. Yep, I'm back in Speedy Creek. Alrighty, no worries. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Going to pause our lava. Pause the lava. Get it? Pause. That's what you do. You pause things when you have a pause. And there we go. We paused it. We were going to go over and take a look at the earthquakes that are happening in Hawaii. And of course, the Big Island is the one that we are interested in. And yeah, there we go. We're going to zoom in a little bit and see what we've got going on here. Big Island of Hawaii, and of course out here in the water, the Loihi Seamound is about here, so this one is slightly off to the side, 2.4, and that happened at 12:36 today, 36.6 kilometers down. Most of the ones here in the Pahala area are in similar depths, somewhere from about 26 to 37 kilometers down, so we won't mention the depths, but we'll get to the times and size. This guy, 1.5, 9:11 a.m. Today, 2.2 from, what is it, 6:48 a.m. there, 1.9 from 10 a.m., and let's go over here closer to Pahala itself, 2.1 from 8:39. Then we have this guy 2.2 from 13:13, sliding over a bit more, looking at this one, 1.9 from yesterday at 23:56, and we'll grab this guy here, 1.8 from 8:11 a.m. Then we have 2.0, and that happened at 10:58 a.m. So that is the Pahala area, and that gives us a pretty good idea that it is still active. It's not as active as it used to be. We had a lot more happening here before, and also a lot more out here on Loihi Seamound. So that is a little bit quieter than normal. Where the activity is, though, is up on top of Mauna Loa. I see we have had nothing in this secondary spot where all these extra quakes are, and it's getting a little bit older there, but let's take a look at these. This is a 2.2, happened yesterday at 21:21, and it is a minus 0.5, or 500 meters above sea level. This other one here, 1.8, from today, it is 600 meters above sea level, 7:22 a.m. Then we have this one, 2.4 from 4:11, 1.3 kilometers up into the mountain. And then we have a 1.8 from 9:06 a.m. And that is also 1.6 kilometers above sea level, well into the mountain. So not seeing anything else in that area. It's a little bit quieter than what we've seen before with all of the other quakes there. But let's move over towards Kilauea. We see a 2.2 here from 1606, 9.5 kilometers down, and that is below sea level. And there we go, 1.8 from yesterday, 2205, 1 kilometer down. And of course, that is not too far from Kilauea. We'll grab these other two quakes here before we zoom in onto Kilauea. We got a 2.4 here from 1205, 2.8 kilometers down. Then we've got this other one, 2.6 kilometers down, and that is from 1342. So that is what we see in that area. Zooming back into our Kilauea crater or caldera, there's what you see, and of course that is nowhere near the actual levels that are in there right now. This picture or photo was from quite some time ago, and since it did start erupting back September 29th of last year, the floor height or lava height within that caldera is about 144 meters, or roughly 470 feet, and we have total expulsion into the crater. They are estimating at 111 million cubic meters, and that equates to about 29.2 billion gallons of lava or magma that has come out. And of course, most of that is still sitting inside there, with the exception of the stuff that has drained back out. And what we're thinking, and I'm not just the only one basically thinking this, that what's happening to a lot of that magma that comes up, it's going back down into some other tubes and stuff, and kind of getting recirculated a little bit. So the volume there can be a little bit skewed, if you want to call it that, as far as the actual amounts in there. Anyway, that's it for Hawaii. We'll zoom out, and we're going to take a look at other earthquakes around the world real quick. We'll start out here on the coast of Mexico. We see a 4.4. Hopefully that's not going to be too bad for them. Sliding down a bit more, we see this one here, 4.3 in Ecuador. That is 159.3 kilometers down. I didn't even mention the depth on this, 35 kilometers down from 1:03 a.m. The one in Mexico. This one was from 9:56 there in Ecuador. And looking at the rest of it, we see that there's really nothing new right there. We see a couple down here, South Sandwich Islands of 5.3, 123.3 kilometers down from the 2150 yesterday. And then newer, that one's from 2002, 35 kilometers down, also yesterday. Is this newer, this one? Yeah, this is the newer one. 1327 was the time on that, 10 kilometers down. And that is at 5.1. They call it on the mid-Atlantic ridge. That's just about the bottom end of it. And that doesn't surprise me if we had a movement all along here to see this one. I don't know if that's going to turn around and create more up in the top. We don't see anything else really moving over there. Pretty much quiet over here in according to this map. Pretty much quiet over here in the New Zealand, Tonga, Fiji area, and all of Vanuatu, and even Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, not showing anything on USGS. Getting up into the Philippines, we don't see anything either. It's not till we get up into Japan. Oh, hang on, something popped up here. 4.5, my bad, I missed that guy. 51.5 kilometers down. That's actually from yesterday, 2320. And let's get back to this one in Japan, 5.3, 177.3 kilometers down from 1036 a.m. Then they had another one, 4.5, small guy, 19.3 kilometers down. 12:14 was the time on that little shaker. So overall, we are fairly quiet with larger quakes. I do want to kind of point out a couple of quakes here in the U.S. though. We see a 3.6 in Oklahoma, and that's kind of a larger one, larger than we normally see in that area. And just wanted to mention that. And these ones here would be in Texas, and that is a 2.1, 8 kilometers down from 1657. And we have another 2.1 from yesterday at 2111, 7.6 kilometers down, and another one there from 4:39 a.m. today, 2.1, sorry, 7.5 kilometers down. And kind of makes you wonder what the heck is going on, why we're seeing quakes in Texas. But hey, they got them there. We did see a little one there as well, which is kind of weird. This one was Three Rivers, 2.6, and that was a couple of days ago. And never even actually seen that one until recently. Let's pop over to the other map here for a second. And I want to refresh that one as well, and we'll see what we've got in here. So they really aren't showing anything on our Icelandic side, nothing on the mid-Atlantic ridge. They do show some quakes here in La Palma, and I'm not sure if they're tuned into La Palma or what, but we'll get to those in a few minutes. But I do want to pop over here the continuation of the stuff going on right here. This, of course, is the split between the Eurasian plate and the African plate, and we do see this. Okay, and this isn't listed on the other one, so 1.9, 2.2, varying dates and times on some of these. 1.7. So there is a little bit of swarming there, a little bit of movement. I don't know if that's going to indicate anything. And then we see a swarm here in Spain, and this is a little odd as well. 2.0. These are all yesterday's, and I don't know what the heck is going on there, but definitely had a swarm. It's almost like something is happening in that one spot. So just kind of wanted to bring those up. We do see some other ones in different places along the France border here as well from Spain. And then we get over into Piggy's area, and we wanted to see if there was anything new there. 3.4 Eastern Meridian, Eastern Mediterranean Sea. There we go. Don't talk too fast, you'll get it out. 2:30 in the morning, and that's 3.4. That's what we've seen fairly close. I don't think Piggy would have felt that, but that's all right. 3.5 over here in Turkey as well, and 6 kilometers down for that guy. I don't think that's that big. And then 3.0 western Turkey, 10 kilometers down from yesterday at 6:41. So those are a little bit older, but they are there. And I did notice this one. This is in a really weird spot, and this is kind of something. 2.7, and that is in Sweden. I didn't think we had too many quakes in Sweden, but that was from this morning. Their Swedish time, 2:34 a.m., 20 kilometers down. A real oddity. So I kind of looked at the map and going, what the heck is going on? And anyway, there were also some just off the coast of Svalbard here, but they disappeared, so I'm not going to worry about those. These are all the older ones that we've already looked at. Oh, hang on, we didn't look at this. How come that's not on the USGS map? That is a 4.4 Kermadec Ridge. That should have been on there from 7:33 this morning. And let's see what else we got here. This is from today as well. New Zealand 3.1, south end of the South Island from 9:14. And there's our one that's near Taupo. But Taupo has gone a little bit quiet on us from what I got in an earlier email. 3.5 on that guy. That's from yesterday at 9:30 a.m. And then we see up on the northern coast here, we see 3.0 yesterday at what was it, 5:50 a.m. The 3.3 at 7:57 a.m. that kind of thing. So really nothing too major. We don't see anything over here at Tonga or the American Samoa or Fiji. So nice for them to have a little bit of a break. At least I didn't see it on that side. Yeah, it's not there either. And we'll leave that be. Let's pop over to, I'm going to refresh this one. This is, of course, our, what do you call it? Canary Islands. There we go. And Canary Islands, of course, doing their thing. Very, very interesting. Did watch a few videos on La Palma today, and somebody had popped in and told me about the German one, and I did watch it, and I was actually quite fascinated with what they were talking about, as some of that lava and that is underneath all that big piles of crust and stuff, the temperature of the lava is still 600 degrees Celsius, which is incredible. And this has already been sitting for quite some time, and they are trying to build roads on it and stuff like this. And they've run into some difficulties in a couple of places. Wow is the right word, Mona. 600 degrees Celsius is an astronomical temperature, and it's amazing that it's still that hot underneath there. But the problem that they were running into was that stuff needs to be cooler. It needs to be solidified at 600 degrees Celsius. It is still able to move. And if we, if you're building a road, you want to build a straight road across a section of lava flow, all of a sudden your road's got a big wow in it because it moved, and it kind of makes you go, huh? What the heck is going on? So, we got to keep in mind that lava in those places when it was coming through there and pushing through there. Yes, we had lava that was the Pahoehoe style lava that was very fluid and could flow very, very nicely. But we also had the other style of lava there, and I'm using the Hawaiian terms, the A'a lava. And A'a lava is basically the bigger boulders and chunks and blocks, and the stuff that comes along in a kind of a wall format, like a bulldozer, and pushes its way through. And they were saying it is actually the A'a lava that is maintaining and keeping that heat. And it moves ever so slowly, but it is still moving. Yeah, don't walk on the lava. Exactly. Hotter than the melting point of lead. Yes, it is. And that is really kind of weird as far as, getting into that. So La Palma is going to take some time to cool off yet. And that is actually very, very interesting. That is something I wasn't aware of, that it was still that hot underneath there. And they drilled down and took measurements, and 600 degrees Celsius is quite a temperature. I know in some of the surface stuff, I've seen reports before of, 340 degrees, that kind of thing, Celsius. But when you get to 600 degrees, that stuff's still glowing, glowing red hot. Anyway, getting back to the Canary Islands here, we do see up on the top of our volcano in Tenerife, 1.6. That was the latest one from 9/24 or 25, my bad. And that is from the 4th, according to that. Hang on, is that right? I must have clicked on the wrong one. Why is that not showing up? Let's try there. The star. That's from today, from the 6th. 23:37 is the time, and it is a 1.2. I don't know if I clicked on the wrong thing. We just got too many close together there. Yeah, so 16 kilometers down for that guy, and of course that is not that worrisome. Let's get over into La Palma itself and take a look at what we've got here. So we'll start at the, where's the first one? Right there. So 1.4 from 2:45 a.m., 12 kilometers down. That is, of course, on the east side of the ridge. And then we get to this one here, 1.1, 2:56 a.m., 7 kilometers down. 0.8, 4:46 in the morning, 15 kilometers down, and that is getting a little closer to our previous lava flow. I don't know if that's actually under one, but that's where it is. This one could be under one of the previous lava flows, 1.2 from 1349, 3 kilometers down, and that is fairly shallow. And then this other one here, 1.7, that's again a little further south. 1330 was the time on that, and that is, of course, at 10 kilometers down. Looking at our volcano map, I'm going to refresh that real quick, and I know it's just about another break time here, so we'll see what we can do. Oh, it changed the map automatically on me. That's interesting. And what happened to my terrain? No, I want satellite. There we go. And looking at what we've got, so pretty normal for the most part what we're seeing. Ring of Fire still got most of it happening there, and now somebody was saying Taupo is reduced in level and a little less activity happening there. So we'll probably see that disappear in the future off of the map. But you never know. You know, that thing could kick in, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, Tofua and Home Reef Volcano still out here. You notice we no longer have the American Samoa. Tau is no longer there. So that has disappeared. Looking at the rest of what we've got here, they're pretty much all still the same. Luolatak, Raung, and then Semeru, Merapi, Krakatoa, and all doing their thing. Ibu and Dakono are still right there. And of course, we know Taal has been raised up to an orange from the yellow. So very interesting. And looking up here, we don't see anything changed with Suwanoshijima or Sakurajima, and this Nishino-shima is still an orange, and we'll see what happens in the future with that. Kamchatka Peninsula and down here in the islands are still pretty much all the same. Ibiko and Alade, and then of course we get up to Karimsky, Bezimiani, and Chevalish. And that's kind of it. We don't see anything super new. Piton de la Formes volcano and La Reunion Island is still there, and that is doing its thing. And the other ones here pretty much normal. I don't need to go through them. At Urta Ale, still happy right there. And of course Etna still showing as an orange, and it continues to off gas, and then a Stromboli there as a red. And that is kind of it for those volcanoes. what we will do is we will come back with weather after our wonderful break. Actually, we'll do the SO2 stuff first. And but in the few minutes for my break here, I need to calm my throat down. I hear it starting to crack a bit, but I also feel my throat heating up. So need to take a few minutes break, you guys. So don't go away. We got more to come. I'm going to put you back on the canned lava and let you watch that as a filler here in the meantime. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, and we're still trying to shoot over that 100 mark, please give it a shot. And also, if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet and you're enjoying the show, please, if you feel we've earned it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm your host, DrFox2000. I'll be back after my break. All right, I've got the microphone on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. And just reading what Sue put down there. 3 earthquakes, 2.5, 2.9, 3.0 at Haines Junction in Canada today. And also a 4.9 just northeast of Anchorage, Alaska. On a Sheep Mountain. That sounds bad. Okay, never mind. I do a bad sheep. That sounds more like, yeah, well, sheep. Anyway, thank you for the welcome backs from Hermione and Kevin, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart and Sue Hayes and Kananaskis Country. And good night, Brian, if you're still there, Brian, rock rail fan. Glad to have you on board. And I know, my bad sheep mountain. And thanks for passing that information along, Sue. Anyway, let's go over and take a look at our weather stuff. So first off, of course, we do a quick view of the SO2 around the world. And we'll start out with North America. And what we see here, not bad in general for most of Canada and the US. We do see here on our left-hand side coming out of, well, that is kind of coming out of the bottom end of Japan, the Japanese islands. So I'm suspecting most of that is coming from China, and that is drifting out. Looking at our Kamchatka Peninsula, we still see that flow down on the bottom here. That would be Ibico and possibly some from Lade there as well. But going back up, pardon me, the other areas would be Karimsky, Bezimiani, and Chevalish, creating those plumes which are definitely heading upward. Okay, sliding down in the bottom area here, we see that the stuff from Mexico is still actually coming back. The weather pattern still pushing it back into the Gulf rather than out into the Pacific. And that's kind of what we've got. But once we get down to Guatemala and those areas, it goes back out into the Pacific area. We had that wind circulation here in Colombia and Ecuador was kind of keeping everything in one spot. That is why it's so heavy looking right there. It really hasn't had a volume increase. It's just the wind patterns are keeping it there. And looking at what we've got happening here in Chile, most of that blowing over top of our rest of our South America, and of course that ending up and Rio and Sao Paulo are still off-gassing. There's a lot of human pollution there as well. Same thing goes for Buenos Aires, as you can see that plume going up and partially into Argentina and Uruguay, so not too bad. Sliding over to White Isle Volcano just north of New Zealand, we see it is still pluming and doing its thing. We'll catch these areas here, definitely coming from the refineries right there. And then, of course, this other area that is creating this is from the coking plants that are northwest of Sydney, going out here in the other areas in the Pacific. Looking at Tonga area, Tofua is this plume, and then Vanuatu, that's Yasur there, and his buddies, and they are still doing their thing, and I can't remember that volcano's name. Neither one of these, I just call them the buddies. I remember Yasur, but these are hard to remember. And going out, looking at what we got heading in Papua New Guinea, that looks pretty normal. This right here would be from Luolatok, and we see the other ones here from Semeru, Raung, not producing too much, and then Merapi, and then of course on this end we'll have Well, Jakarta is certainly helping with people pollution, but also Krakatoa doing its thing and creating that plume out into the area. And let's see, Ibu and Dakono still working hard to create that. And then when we get up into the Philippines, of course, we see this is a Mayon, the volcano that's creating that plume, and some coming from Taal. So Taal volcano is producing some SO2 since they've cranked it up a notch on their scale to an orange. But a majority of what we're seeing coming here is people pollution as well. And seeing what we've got coming here, that whole stream, like I said, most of that was from China, and we are seeing it continue to circulate there. No rain over top of it yet to wash it out. We also know that we have some coming from Suwanoshi-jima as well as Sakurajima here in Japan. Sliding up, but we already covered the Kamchatka Peninsula, so we're not going to worry about it. Pretty normal looking there in India, and here we see more stuff coming out of South Africa. It's sitting here. We'll likely see it build up again and create another one of these big red patterns that we've seen before, and that is all drifting away. So this is kind of weather driven as to where it's going. And we know Reunion Island is right here, and we know that volcano is active, but you don't see a big plume coming off of it, so no SO2 being produced there. Sliding up a little bit more at DR Congo, a couple of volcanoes, as well as the coking plants that they have there to manufacture steel with. And then we get up here looking for Erta Ale, and again buried in the stuff that's coming off of Saudi Arabia. And of course they've got oil refineries going on there in Jordan and those areas. So that's what we see. Also in Iraq, there's refineries. There's Kuwait's got refineries. Everybody's got refineries. You got oil, you're going to have refineries. Looking at what we're seeing coming off of Sicily here, and Mount Etna definitely producing more SO2. And like I said, we're not getting masses of ejecta or clouds or anything coming off of it, but we do see that it is still producing a lot of SO2. Same goes for Stromboli and Volcano. Not so much from Volcano, but Stromboli for sure. And looking at Iceland, we know it's not volcanic in nature there for that little plume. Let's pop over to look at our weather. I did refresh that earlier. I am going to refresh it again since it will be out of date a little bit. And real quick, looking at northern portions of Canada, still very cold, but we did see some of that warmth get back up into the Northwest Territories, Alaska, and northern portions of British Columbia, a little bit cooler. And nice day out here in British Columbia. Not quite as warm here in Edmonton, of course, but we did have a fairly clear day. We do see that high sitting here in Manitoba, and that is getting some of that cold air, pushing the cold air down, and of course we're getting some recirculation. If that moves over again a little bit, we'll continue to have some nicer weather in the western side of Canada. Looking at Ontario, most of it fairly cool until you get to about this point, and looking at things like the lakes down here be a little bit warmer, keeping things warm. Detroit 19 degrees, 15 in Toronto. Montreal 16, 17, Quebec 13, 14. And looking at what we see, we got a low just off the coast of Nova Scotia, so a little cooler there in New Brunswick, but not too bad. A little warmer in Nova Scotia, that's not bad. We see Newfoundland a little cooler again, but they're still getting some of that warm air brushing in against them, whereas Labrador and Newfoundland up here definitely not looking so good. Getting into the U.S., western portions of the country look actually very nice. It's not till you get into Manitoba and, of course, Wyoming, the northern portions of Wyoming, where it gets a little cold. But looking not bad in California and the whole west coast, really. Death Valley would be coming in around 36 degrees or thereabouts, and there it is. Thank you, Sue. And that is indeed what it is. 32, 33 in some spots, depending on where you were. Sacramento, 31. And that's going all the way up into Oregon. I'm just curious. Eugene at about 20 degrees, so not bad. Mexicali a little cooler today, since they've got some cold air brushing in there. And looking at Phoenix, looking at 26. I don't know how right that is. We'll check real quick and see what Phoenix is coming in at. But we do see here in Albuquerque coming in at about 15, 16 degrees, higher elevations here in New Mexico, a little bit on the nasty side. 31 degrees, the map says 27, 26, 27. So yeah, a little bit warmer as according to the weather bot. Moving over a little bit though, we see some really nice fall day in Texas, 25, 26, 27, and that also here in Oklahoma, reasonable temperatures, and that is kind of what we see. Little Rock, Arkansas, 24 degrees. So they're seeing some nice temperatures. You can see where the colder stuff is. Chicago coming in at about 15 degrees. That's not so bad. And looking at the rest of it, a little bit cooler in the East Coast, but not so bad. Florida has cooled off quite a bit. They're in the mid to low 20s, not bad. Same thing with Georgia. And of course the sun has gone down, so it's going to cool off, right? So Atlanta coming in at 18, 19 degrees. And seeing what we've got in South Carolina, North Carolina, Grandma B's place, about 20 degrees Celsius roughly. And looking at what we've got going up the coast, we see New York coming in a little bit warmer than what it was yesterday, which is really nice. About 18 degrees Celsius there right now, going up through New Hampshire and up into Maine here, 14, 13. So really overall not that bad. Quick shot here, Cancun, 27, 28 degrees. Central America looking pretty normal, and a little bit warmer in the Amazon, which is good. Higher elevation, still quite cold though. We see that low parked off the coast here near Buenos Aires, and that's probably keeping Uruguay a little bit on the cold side. A lot warmer though in Paraguay, and then the flatlands, if you will, in Argentina are pretty warm. Once you get down to the bottom, starts to cool off. Let's have a quick look at New Zealand. That high that we had over here has moved over, and now we got a nasty low or a ridge here. I don't know what's going to happen. It looks like another system right there. Anyway, this high, of course, it's drawing down some of that temperature. But right now where it's sitting, I thought it'd come out here a little bit lower, but that's okay. If it goes up a little bit more, that'll be actually good for them, bring that warmer weather back in. And we did see that snow yesterday, and that was kind of terrifying for those good people. But we do see the temperatures are still from about 8 to 10 degrees Celsius there on the South Island. and from about 9 to about 14, 15 on the North Island. So they are not bad. Looking a lot warmer here in Tasmania, and that is pretty awesome. But I'm sure this thing here will end up moving and cool it off again. And Leo is probably enjoying about 14, 15, 16 degrees Celsius there in Melbourne. Sydney coming in at about 18, and home of the Oz about 23 degrees Celsius right now. Looking like a lot of heat up in the top end of our wonderful Australia, and Perth coming in at 14, 15 degrees, sliding up a little bit. Looking at our Indonesian, Malaysian, and Philippine areas, looking a little bit warmer today than they were yesterday, about 26 or so degrees coming out of our Bangkok. According to this map, that might be a little bit different with other stuff. Okay, I'm waiting for Bangkok to show up, and Sue put the information in, but it's not coming. I wonder if it got throttled. Yeah, try it again. Thanks, Sue. You spelled it right. I don't know why. Okay, it's because other people are trying. So 27 degrees, 92% relative humidity, so possibly raining there right now. Anyway, going up a little bit more. Looks like half of Taiwan pretty warm, the other half a little bit cooler, but not too bad. Japan looking like it's a lot cooler up in the northern portions. And just down on the bottom end here is where they really do have some temperature. Otherwise, very, very cold. And we don't even want to talk about the Kamchatka Peninsula. It's a lot of minus temperatures there. Siberia getting colder. And let's move over and take a look. India, pretty normal. We have the 03S storm out here. Don't know what that's going to be called, but it is there. And looking at what we've got in Africa, bottom end, of course, South Africa, Cape Town coming in at 13, 14 degrees, and some of the higher elevations there are kind of single digits again. Madagascar, western side, nice, eastern side, not nice, and sliding up a little bit more. Having a look here in Saudi Arabia, they're not as hot as they were yesterday, but still bottom end of Saudi Arabia, some 31, 32 degrees for nighttime temperatures, and that is pretty warm still. Same thing goes for Oman, and UAE holding pretty steady in that area. Yemen has got some variable temperatures again due to elevation. Looking at what we're seeing come in through our Sahara Desert, definitely a big chunk in here that is starting to cool off, and that is what we're seeing there. Looking to have a quick peek here at what it's like for Piggy. It says 21 degrees. I don't believe that, but we'll see what we've got. Trying to spell things right. There we go. And we'll see what it looks like for Piggy temperature-wise. Yep, 21 degrees. So hopefully Piggy is not too cool. Well, she's cool, but, I mean, I'm not freezing to death or anything. And looking at what we've got here in Sicily, coastal area still quite warm. Higher elevations getting a little bit on the cooler side. And same thing goes for the rest of Italy. Looking at, roughly around 20 degrees around the coastal edges, and the rest is kind of a little bit less than that. Still seeing Milano up here at about 16 degrees. That's not bad, being so close to the mountains. And New Irish Monk Land is what Sardinia is called now. And of course, we see that that has got some fairly decent temperatures as well. Spain cooling off a little bit more, but still for nighttime temperatures, Spain and Portugal bottom end still holding good temps, and a little bit cooler here in these mountains and so on. And of course the Alps very cool, and looking at colder temps in France and Germany, single digits definitely. So that's what we're seeing today there. A little bit warmer in Belgium, Luxembourg, only about 5 ber, and seeing what we've got here in Holland for the most part, inland about 8-9 degrees, and once we get out to the coast, about anywhere from 11 to 14, so a little bit warmer, and still seeing quite a bit of warmth here in Denmark, which is actually good, but we know what that warm weather could bring for us, and that is a lot of rain and stuff as well. We'll check that out shortly. Stockholm coming in at 12, Oslo at about 8 or 9 degrees. Quick check, Moscow 10 degrees, St. Petersburg 11, Riga 12, Helsinki coming in about 11 according to this map, and we see that big low up there creating all kinds of colder temps, but it is drawing some of that warm air up, and that is what's happening with England. They are actually very lucky right now to have those that Gulf Stream going through there, and keeping things a little bit warmer. And looks like Wales, England, all good. Same thing with Irish Monkland over here, coming in at 13-14 degrees Celsius. Not bad. It's not till you get up into Scotland it gets a little cooler. Looking at what we've got, we know we got that low here drawing down all that cold air, and yep, you see it right, 3 or 4 degrees. 4 degrees in Reykjavik, and some of the areas 1 and 0s. So we know that it is getting a little chilly there, you guys. Let's pop over to precipitation, and we'll actually start with Iceland. Yo, look at that, snowflakes. Snowflakes, Santa Claus is coming. Look at all that snow. It's all headed for Iceland, and it's going to make it an icy place again. Let's take a look here in North America. We see Alaska's got a storm in there, and they had some more stuff happening at that Triton volcano. I'm going to try to get more information on that for tomorrow's stream. But anyway, as you see up in the north, actually it's not Northwest Territories anymore, it's Nunavut. And I want none of it because it is flaky and cold. And looking down here in Ontario, we see some of that lake effect storming stuff going through here, and that is what's happening. So Toronto right now is dry, but I'm sure they'll get some thunderstorms. Looks like some thunderstorm stuff happening for Tom Dice here in the Chicago area as well. And here's what Sue is having to deal with. Sue, are you getting bad weather right now? Lots of rain and thunder boomers? Well, the thunder boomers are out here in the ocean, but you probably have some rain out there from the looks of things. So those areas definitely getting nailed with some different values of rain coming through. And I'm surprised Newfoundland isn't getting as much rain there. And good night, Canada's country. Take care. Have a good evening. Looking at most of the U.S., not too much stuff happening. A little storm down here on the Mexican-California border. We do see a good portion of Arizona has got some little isolated thunderstorms happening. Same thing goes for New Mexico. And of course, down in the bottom end, going South America, or well, Central America, and then South America, we see this low. I mentioned that we'll see another storm here. This one was at Payne, and then this is that next one. and we'll probably see another one develop right around here. I don't know if this is going to develop, but this looks like it will, since it's already stormy. And this low was still sitting here from yesterday, and I'm surprised it hasn't moved. So I don't believe it will become a tropical storm for going up at all, or a hurricane of any type, but we'll leave that be. Northern portions of the Amazon, we see they are getting some rain there, and the southern portion of Brazil and half of Uruguay getting nailed with some rain there. Still chilly down in Chile. Moving over and taking a look, there's that high that's sitting off the coast of in between Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand doesn't look like it's getting very much rain right now, but they do have some colder temperatures. And for the warmer temperatures that they're getting in Tasmania, they're also getting some rain along with it. And we see Melbourne, no barbecue today, it's raining. And let's go up, looking at Brisbane, no rain there. So we do see that very much needed rain in the middle of Australia. That's all good. Looking at what we have here in the Malaysian, Indonesian areas, we do see normal clouds, thunderstorms everywhere. This is normal for this area, and that's what we've got. And sliding up a little bit more here in the Sea of Japan, we've got one low there, and it looks like another one just on the bottom side of Japan. So Osaka probably getting nailed with some of that real heavy rain right now. I wouldn't want to be there, and definitely raining. And here's the remnants of that other storm that we used to have out there. And it is still kind of hanging in there. It didn't disappear yet. And of course, there's our Kamchatka Peninsula with its colder, snowy temperatures and snowfall. Storms, India, yep, pretty normal. South Africa not showing too much there. Central areas, we are still seeing some of that coming through. And of course, here my curiosity to see if we've got any rain coming. And boy, that rain missed Piggy by just a little bit, and that would have been a welcome for them there. And maybe we'll see something come down. Maybe that'll get caught in a magic current and then swirl over here and then come down. That would be nice. I see Crete is getting some rain, so hopefully Piggy will get some rain showers there as well. Looks like it's dry for the most part in Sicily and Italy. Sardinia dry as well. We do see this off the coast here of Spain, and that is pretty nasty. Going up, France looks pretty quiet, some fog. Germany, same thing. Same as Holland and Belgium, and of course Luxembourg. And then we get up here, and top end of Denmark is getting some more of that rain, but it wasn't as bad as it was yesterday, so not bad. And then of course, if we zoom out a little bit, you can see all of Norway is getting hit on its western side. Very little that isn't getting rain or snow. And a little bit bleeding over into Sweden. Doesn't look like Finland has too much there at all. And England, of course, with the warmer temperatures, those Gulf air stream temperatures, along comes the rain, and that's what we're seeing in England, and that is kind of it for right now. And we already talked about the snow that we see in northern Iceland. That is not good. Okay, let's pop down, take a quick peek at our coldest temperature in the world, and we'll slide all the way down here into the tropical, pardon me, tropical area of the South Pole, or Antarctica. Yeah, it is not looking that cold there today. Minus 60, I found, and I'm sure if I zoom in there, I'd probably get a minus 61 or something. But yeah, minus 60 for sure, and 59, 60. Well, could be somewhere around here. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to take another look here. Minus 60 seems to be the sticking point here for our thermometers, and I still don't see. There's a high. High will keep it cooler, but we're only seeing a minus 60. Unless I zoom in a little bit more, then we might see a minus 61 somewhere. But I will leave it that. I think a minus 60 is pretty. Oh, hang on. I see minus 61. There we go. Minus 62. There. I found it. And all right. So I found minus 62 degrees Celsius. Sue Hayes says she found minus 61. And Kevin Haynes says minus 64. And boy, either one or all three of them are too cold for me. So it doesn't matter what you do. Please make sure your penguins are dressed up warm before you send them out to go play in the snow. And on that friendly note, it is time for me to wrap things up. So thank you everyone for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are all awesome, and we do like the fact that you guys come in and do this and enjoy the show. Big thank you to our super chatters today, Diane Craig and Thor Rasmussen. I hope I said it right, Rasmussen. Thank you, and also Grandma B for gifting that one membership. That was very, very awesome, and I do appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, and also big thank you to all the members in here. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate the support, and hopefully we can keep this going for a long time. Big thing is we need another volcano to erupt somewhere that can give us some good views. So, and that would be really, really cool. Hey, Diane Craig, you made it. You got it renewed. That is awesome, and glad to see that. And Chicky Gomberg says, good night, Dr. Fox. Okay, good night to you as well, Chicky. And also, I want to say a big thank you to our moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, CND Boy, and Lucas Snow, and Joseph Fields, and 24/7 Live, AZ Skies, Gary. Really do appreciate all of you as far as the moderators are concerned. And you guys are awesome, and thank you very kindly for your support. So on those friendly notes and terms, I am going to say good night to all of you. Please take care, and make sure that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Oink, oink.
Bye.